Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today is July 13, 2015. Welcome to the Aurora City Council meeting. Denny Kovach presiding. If we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Ms. Hawks.
Ms. Barner?
Present.
Ms. Grandillo?
Here.
Mr. Hatridge?
Here.
Mr. Horvath? Mr. Kovach?
Present.
Mr. Cudley? Ms. McDougall?
Present.
Mr. Vaca? And Mr. Wolf?
Here.
Okay, we'll move on to prior actions. Anyone have anything to reconsider? Okay, go to the next. Need a motion to approve the minutes of June 22nd, please.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Hawks, could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Hatridge?
Yes.
Ms. Grandillo?
Yes.
Mr. Kovach?
Yes.
Ms. McDougall?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Ms. Barner?
Yes.
And we have no public hearing, so we're going to go to the mayor's report. The mayor is not here this evening. Mrs. Aldridge will read the mayor's report for us today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I call the following to your attention this evening. 4th of July festivities. Thank you to all departments, staff members, and council members that participated in the July 4th festivities and helped make them possible. The day and all of its activities were a great success and representative of the kind of wonderful hometown Aurora is. I was especially pleased and honored that United States Senator Rob Portman chose to spend time at our festival, and I enjoyed showing him our beautiful city and introducing him to residents. The fireworks were a perfect evening to a beautiful day. In regards to the Deed House, the move of the Deed House was delayed again because of the wet weather and has been rescheduled for the week of July 27th, 2015. Meanwhile, you will be asked this evening to approve the lease agreement with the Aurora Historical Society for the renovation and use of the Deed House. Our website. The city launched its updated website on July 1st, 2015. The redesigned site allows residents to easily access city information and receive important notifications, alerts, and more. The improved layout is also enhanced for a better user experience and is now optimized to operate on mobile devices. Newsletter. The mayor's newsletter was sent out to all residents the first week in July. Additional copies are available at City Hall, and the newsletter has been posted on the city's website. In the mayor's office. Since our last meeting, I have met with several residents and swore in firefighter-paramedic Christopher Mullins. I also attended the Chamber Business After Hours event at Mad Jack's, met with Chapman & Chapman to discuss health insurance renewal, had lunch with Superintendent Russ Bennett, and take my mayor's report at Cable 9. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions? Thank you for that report. We'll go to the Law Director's report. Do we have anything?
Mr. President, I know that I gave a dissertation on the easements. Anything else, I'd happy to answer any questions on any other issues.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to Council President's report. Council is asked to amend tonight's agenda by adding ordinances 2015-094 through 2015-099. All in favor?
Second.
Opposed? Okay.
Roll call. Oh, no, that's right.
Sorry, you can. We're good.
Here, changed. Okay, that will move, we will work on that.
Say all, just a favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that'll go on. Also, I'm going to take the opportunity to say thank you to all the city employees, all the volunteers who work to make 4th of July really great. I heard nothing but positive things about the evening and the parade and everything else. It went very well. So thank you to everyone, and next year will be bigger and better. Okay, we're going to go to citizens' comments. Anyone have? Mr. Mazzaro?
Co-as member of the council, my name is George Mazzaro, 186 Eldridge. On 032, the budget, I'm sorry, 084, the budget, The fact that we'll talk about that come, 2016, when we took off the appropriation, you'll see how involved the budget is in your appropriation. And on 089 and 090, again, I still have problems with that. A lot of variances have been granted over there for use of land, reduction of size of the property lots, wetland using as open space. I just have a problem with that. On the 093, what's going to happen to the house on this property? Is that going to be taken over by this same organization? On 095, that's the asphalt road program. Is there a priority list of the roads in our community that are going to be done here in the next 3 to 5 years? I'd like to find out if that's going to happen. On the health insurance recommendation, if I recall correctly, and correct me, Mr. Hall, if I did, but we went through this about 10 years ago, where we were going back and forth with the insurance companies. And the problem I'm running into, I think the question was asked, I didn't hear the total question, but have all the employees' organizations been involved in this transition? And the question is, how does this affect the employees in our community? Is it a bad, good, or indifference? And the point is, you got to be careful of putting, a top-level cost involved in healthcare. Healthcare is there for the employees, and we got to be very, very careful that we don't. And the other question I have, how many other organizations were asked to quote or give a presentation on this besides Chapman and Chapman? If there wasn't 5, then there's something wrong. But of course, we can spend money around here. We just have a call to the contract and stay on the $10,000 and we got it made. But the point is, why wasn't more than one company asked if there's only one company that was asked? The question is, again, is this in the best interest of the employees? Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, we're going to move on to councilman remarks. Anyone? Oh, you guys are being nice to me tonight. Wow. Okay, going, gone. We're going on to legislation then. Here we go. Ordinance 2015-032 from the Committee of the Whole. An ordinance accepting for dedication Shannon Place, which is part of Hawthorne Subdivision Phase 5C, for recording as public street in the city of Aurora. This is on third reading. I need a motion to postpone here.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Hawks?
Mr. Hattridge?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Ms. Barner?
Yes.
Ms. Grandillo?
Yes.
Mr. Kovach?
Yes.
Ms. McDermott?
Yes.
And that is postponed. Ordinance 2015-084 from the Committee of the Whole. An ordinance approving and adopting the tax budget of the city of Aurora for the calendar year 2016, declaring an emergency as the budget must be adopted by July 20th, 2015 in order to comply with Ohio Revised Code 5705.28. This is on third reading.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. McDougal?
Yes.
Ms. Grandillo?
Yes.
Mr. Hattridge?
Yes.
Mr. Kovach?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Ms. Barner?
Yes.
Okay. Ordinance 2015-088 from the Committee of the Whole. An ordinance granting a tax abatement to Charles Vergon and Lauren Broderick for improvements to be made to their residential property located at 28th South Chillicothe Road in accordance with the provisions of the city's community reinvestment area, known CRA2, as adopted by ordinance 2004-186, amended by ordinance 2011-088, declaring an emergency in order for the property owner to begin construction as soon as possible. This is on second reading.
Move to suspend. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Move to adopt.
Second.
Ms. Hawks?
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Mr. Hattridge?
Yes.
Mr. Kovacz?
Yes.
Ms. McDougal?
Yes.
Ms. Barner?
Yes.
Ms. Grandillo?
Yes.
Okay, that'll be adopted. Ordinance 2015-089 from Planning, an ordinance approving the final plat for Phase 2B of the Villas of Bertram, located in the southwest corner of Treat Road and Chillicothe Road in an R4 zoning district, declaring an emergency in order to allow the project to begin during the construction season. This is on second reading. We'll go on to third reading. Ordinance 2015-090 from Planning, an ordinance approving the final plat for Phase 3 of the Villas of Bertram, located in the southwest corner of Treat Road and Chillicothe Road in an R4 zoning district, declaring an emergency in order to allow the project to begin during the construction season. This is on second reading. We'll go on to third reading. Ordinance 2015-092 from the Committee of the Whole, an ordinance assessing the cost of abating certain nuisances to property owners as indicated on the attached exhibit and declaring an emergency in order for the assessments to be added on the 2016 real estate tax bills. This is on first reading. We'll go on to second reading. Ordinance 2015-093 from Mayor Horvat Wolf, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a 10-year lease agreement substantially in the form attached hereto with the Aurora Historical Society for the preservation of the deed house, which is to be relocated from the city-owned Spring Hill property to the city-owned Pioneer Triangle property, and further authorizing the mayor to enter into various contracts and expend funds to restore the historic building and declaring an emergency on properly preserved and to preserve the historic building. This is on first reading. The administration asks for suspension.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Second.
Ms. Hawks? Yeah. It's on the deed house.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Mr. President, members of council, thank you for consideration of this ordinance. As you know, this has been considered for quite some time. The document that you have in front of you, the lease that is attached, is very detailed with regard to the obligations of the city, which is the lessor, and the Aurora Historical Society, which is the lessee of the property. And all the obligations and rights of both parties are listed in there.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, because it's suspended.
Okay, citizens' comments? Anyone? Mr. Mazzaro?
Members of the council, my name is George Mazzaro, 186 Eldridge. I asked the question, is on this Spring Hills property, there's a big house. And I asked what was going to happen to that, and nobody gave me a response. Does anybody know what's going to happen to the house?
Well, this is, we're
We're moving
talking,
the deed, house, I understand that, though.
have no idea yet.
I don't think anybody else does either, but they've got $25,000 in the appropriations to demolish it.
Well, we'll check with Mr. Kraus and see what that's. All right. Okay, we're gonna have a roll call vote.
Ms. McDougal?
Yes.
Ms. Grandillo?
Yes.
Mr. Hattridge?
Yes.
Mr. Kovacz?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Ms. Barner?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna move on to ordinance 2015-094 from the Committee of the Whole. An ordinance amending Exhibit A to Aurora Code of Ordinances, Chapter 161, Employees Generally, to reflect changes in compensation for the individuals listed on the attached schedule and/or to place those newly hired individuals listed on the attached schedule on Exhibit A at the compensation specified for them, approving such compensation and declaring an emergency. This is on first reading. Administration has asked for suspension.
Move to suspend.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Need a
Move to
motion?
adopt.
Second.
Roll call, vote? Mr. Mazzaro, do you want to comment on this?
Employee salary, no.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Hattridge,
Yes.
Ms. Grandillo,
Yes.
Mr. Kovach,
Yes.
Ms. McDougal,
Yes.
Mr. Wolf,
Yes.
Ms. Barner.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2015-095 from Committee of the Whole. An ordinance selecting the bid of and awarding a contract to Roniak Paving for the 2015 asphalt road paving program as the best responsive and responsible bidder, rejecting all other bids, authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Roniak Paving in an amount not to exceed $741,472.05, taking $400,000 from the Road and Bridge Levy Fund, number 36, $265,000 from the Street Construction Maintenance and Repair Fund, number 40, $50,000 from the Capital Improvement Fund, number 60, with an additional appropriation of $26,472.50 from the Road and Bridge Levy Fund, number 36, and declaring an emergency in order for the contractor to complete the required work before the asphalt plants close for the season. This is on first reading. Administration's asked for suspension.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Second.
Citizens' comments?
Member of the council, my name is George Mazzaro, 186 Eldridge. There's additional amount of money beyond the appropriation. Where's that coming from?
It's coming from the bridge.
Road
Bridge
and
levy.
Grant levy.
I didn't hear.
The road and bridge levy, I thought it was?
Yeah, 26,472, road and bridge levy fund.
Has the money all been appropriated?
Mr. True, do you want to answer that?
Everything has been appropriated with
Or
the
Mr.
exception of the 26, and you're appropriating the additional 26.
That's what I'm asking. Where is it coming from?
It's listed in the ordinance there.
I don't have the ordinance here in front of me.
The road and bridge.
Road and Bridge Levy Fund. Have a roll call vote?
Ms. McDougal,
Yes.
Ms. Grandillo,
Yes.
Mr. Hattridge.
Yes.
Mr. Kovach,
Yes.
Mr. Wolf,
Yes.
Ms. Barner.
Yes.
All right, we'll move on to ordinance 2015-096 from the Committee of the Whole. An ordinance accepting an easement substantially in the form attached hereto from DDR Ohio Opportunity 2 for the purpose of constructing a sidewalk in accordance with the city's connectivity plan and declaring an emergency in order to complete to the project prior to the winter season. This is on first reading. Administration's asked for suspension.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Second.
Citizens' comments? Roll call vote, please.
Ms. McDougal?
Yes.
Ms. Grandillo,
Yes.
Mr. Hattridge.
Yes.
Mr. Kovach.
Yes.
Mr. Wolf,
Yes.
Ms. Barner.
Yes.
Ordinance 2015-097 from the Committee of the Whole. An ordinance accepting an easement substantially in the form attached hereto from J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, National Association successor in interest to First National Bank and Trust Company of Ravenna for the purpose of constructing a sidewalk in accordance with the city's connectivity plan and declaring an emergency in order to complete the project prior to the winter season. This is on first reading, and administration's asked for suspension.
Move to suspend.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Move to adopt.
Second.
Citizens' comments? Roll call vote, please, Ms. Hawes?
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Ms. McDougal?
Yes.
Ms. Barner?
Yes.
Ms. Grandillo?
Yes.
Mr. Hattridge.
Yes.
Mr. Kovach.
Yes. Ordinance 2015-098 from the Committee of the Whole. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to renew the contract with Mutual of Omaha for the Employee Life and Disability Insurance Program for the City of Aurora employees for the time period of September 1st, 2015 through August 31st, 2016, declaring an emergency as the current contract expires August 31st, 2015. This is on first reading. This will go on to second reading. Ordinance 2015-099, the Committee of the Whole. An ordinance accepting the quotes submitted by UMR as third-party administrators, HCC Life as medical stop-loss insurer, and United Healthcare UHC through Chapman & Chapman as the best quotes for the administration of a self-funded medical, dental, and prescription insurance program for the city of Aurora employees for the time period September 1st, 2015 through August 31st, 2016, authorizing the mayor to enter into contracts with those companies in the maximum amount of $3,079,378 for the fiscal year 2016, based upon self-insurance in the amount of $75,000 per covered individual, with total expected annual cost of $2,544,754, and further based upon a total approximately 120 employees, with any prorated changes to be reflected accordingly, and declaring an emergency as the current contracts expire August 31st, 2015. This is on first reading. This will go on to second reading.
I have a question on this ordinance, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Hatridge?
Thank you. I was wondering if the spreadsheet that was given to us at the council of the whole meeting could be attached to this ordinance, or can we do that, Mr. DePiero?
Mr. President, let me take another look at it and reflect upon that, and I'll give you an answer at the next meeting.
Thank you, sir.
Very good.
We have citizen comments. Mr. Mazzaro.
Members of the council, my name is George Mazzaro, 186 Eldridge. Back in May, you as a committee of the whole approved the $16,000 expenditure for the path behind the building over here and by the parking lot and the ball diamond. It never went to council, and I'd like to know what happened to it. Are we going to break that up now? It doesn't have to go to council now and have two different contracts on it? It seems to me that they were much of a rush to get it done, and it never came to council to get approval. Does anybody know where it's at and how it's going to get done?
Mr. True, would you like to take that one?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. That project will be bid, and then we'll bid it, and then decide at that time if we're going to bid it or go on the lowest quote. But I think we're getting quotes right now on that project also. But it may be bid. No, that was before they only had parts of it, and then we would come back and do all of it. Every bit of the paths, what they were going to do. So that's what they intended to do, Mr. Mazzaro. That was just for part of it, not every one of them. Some of the ball clubs and the mothers had asked we pave the rest of it. So we have that in consideration now.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? All right, we'll go to councilman remarks. Oh, boy, who's first? Ms. McDougal. Ms. McDougal.
Thank you, Chairman. I was wondering, who could I address about a question concerning the new website? Is there anyone here that is familiar with it, or?
Depends on the question.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say it's very impressive, and I like Jack's picture there, and it is good that we are promoting our city. It just seems to me in the old website there was a forum where people could just express their thoughts about something in the city. Now I see where you can report a problem, but I don't see a format to just, I guess, vent. Is that no longer an option?
I'll field it. That new website this is a 2 weeks trial period. We're still finding little tweaks that it needs. If indeed, we'll take that concern back and put that back in it. When we exchanged one website to another, it was meant to lose no information. It was supposed to gain a little more and not lose any, so we'll take that information. And there's a few things on our website too, such as brush pickup dates and everything else was left out. We're correcting those tweaks right now.
Okay, I just think keeping that form available to the citizens is healthy. We might not always agree with what they have to say, but just giving them that forum. Couple things, I'd like to just congratulate Colleen on another great July 4th. And it was so much fun being a judge and couldn't ask for a nicer day. Finally, August 1st is Aurora Community Service Day. We're still looking for volunteers. You can't beat the deal. For $10, you get a shirt and 3 meals and the opportunity to serve your city. We've got all kinds of city projects as well as some people in our community that just really need help that will be helping. Thank you to Rotary and the Fuller Center, Neighbor to Neighbor. It's just, I'm really excited about it, but pray for good weather, so that's all.
Is there a age limit of?
No, we actually have families,
Okay.
and a whole family can sign up for $25. We can always find somewhere to put, even if it's just a matter of, painting a bench.
Right.
That we could put young people into, but I think it's just good to get our residents involved in giving back to the community.
Mr. Wolf?
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to congratulate the Parks and Rec Department for a great fourth. I think they did a really nice job, as well as our fire and our police for doing a great job for keeping everybody safe. And we truly appreciate that. I thought it was a great fourth. The fireworks were fantastic. The only complaint that I got at all was from one of the neighbor boys who was mad that he couldn't see some of the lower fireworks over the trees and the gazebo, near the gazebo, and promptly asked me to have them cut down.
Did you?
Which I declined to do, to ask for. I said maybe we'll ask for more mid and high fireworks next year, and that didn't seem to placate him, so I've got nothing with that guy. With respect to Ms. McDougal's question, I'm wondering, Facebook seems to be prominently featured here. I'm wondering if that's where they're going to be looking for comments and things. I know that the form that you were talking about was powered by another engine that we were employing. And I don't know if we were paying for it or if it was a part of this package, but I'm wondering if Facebook would serve the same exact purpose. You could go on there and vent or talk about things that you want or whatnot. So I'm wondering if I'm just curious. Maybe we could ask it.
That probably wouldn't be anonymous. The other one is, right? It can be.
Okay, need to address back and forth here. Need to address the chair here first.
From the chair.
Okay, here's something you should do, is get your notes down since the mayor's not here.
We'll ask them.
Give her to the mayor and she can
We'll do that.
answer those for you. You don't put her on the spot.
It's fun.
I know, but it's,
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
okay. Mr. Hatridge?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I
He was in first.
would like to say that the 4th of July was unreal. Fantastic weather. It wasn't too hot, didn't rain. But in the evening, I drove around trying to find a good spot to see the fireworks.
Hit or miss.
Has anybody seen the movie The Close Encounters of the Third Kind? I thought I was there. And the people are waiting for the spaceship to come down. They're out there and they're with their chairs and their coolers and they're looking around. I drove all around the heart of Aurora, and that's all I saw was people alongside the road, even down the road going from 43 down past the cemetery to McDonald's. They were lined up. By the way, that's the best place to be. But the fireworks themselves were unreal. And when I was pulling in my driveway, that's when the finale was happening. I heard hooting and whistling and yelling and so forth. It just, I'm an old timer, and just to see that much money go up in a half an hour still bugs me. But the people did appreciate it, and it was well done, and all the services were great. So, thank you guys, appreciate it.
Mrs. Barner, I'm sorry.
That's okay, no hard feelings. To Scott, Councilman Scott Wolf, you can tell that little boy, maybe it was the money trace. You don't want to cut down any of those money trays. I tell the kids all the time when they want to cut down trees. That's the money trade. Anyways, I do want to ditto a lot of the comments at the 4th of July. It was awesome, great weather. Thank you to Chief Barnes. I know he was at Barrington checking to make sure everything was safe, and they were fantastic. So thank you for doing your diligence of being there and keeping the whole community safe. I want to say thank you to the ABL, because we did have our tournament that a lot of you had attended. Unfortunately, due to Mother Nature again and again, we had a lot of rain, so we had to cancel it. But thanks for those who supported. I still think it was a huge success. Amy Papish, who's the president of ABL, did a wonderful job, as well as Dennis Altman, who works for Park and Recs. I think this might be the conclusion of baseball season here coming up. And my last question, and I know Mr. Kraus is not here, so I don't know if Mr. True or Mrs. Januska, if you have any update on the restrooms over at Sunny Lake. Obviously, as far as I'm aware of, I'll be there this evening. I don't think that they are still of use yet. If we have a date yet of when they will be opened for people who want to obviously use them. And lastly, that's it. Happy mid-July, and hopefully we'll have some more sunshine for the rest of the month, I hope, for Mr. True and the rest of the city with all the rain we're having. Thank you. Now, if you can answer that question, I'm sorry if I'm putting you on the spot.
Mr. True, would you like to answer that question?
Mr. Chairman, to the councilwoman, they did install the manhole today, which means they have to pour the drops tomorrow and some more concrete. So barring no rain, which probably is not going to happen, there's rain again tomorrow. So no, I cannot give a definitive date, but I will say that the manhole is in place and the bore across the road is in place. So if we can have some good weather, it could be completed by the end of the week.
Wow,
So
okay.
that's, if it's all completed and everything is installed properly. Concrete's probably going to have to set for a week before we put any water into it all, but everything will be in place.
Outstanding. Thank you.
Ms. Grandello?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ditto on the fireworks comments, and that was me hooting and hollering, probably. It's the first time in a long time that I've actually been down here to see them, and I'm with the little kid. The ones on the ground were fantastic. So I'll be back next year up close and personal, though it does take a while to get out of here, but it was worth it. Secondly, I want to thank both Chief Barnes and John True for helping me with some issues we're having over in Walden. Still got some work to do, but I do appreciate both of you getting back to me as quickly as you did. Chief Barnes, you getting back to the woman who had the concern. I appreciate it very much, and I'm sure we'll be talking over the next couple weeks some more. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Attridge.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for allowing me one more chance at this. Lieutenant Hickquist, when I was driving up Aurora Hudson Road down where Miller School comes out there, I saw two policemen on bicycles. I was so happy to see that. Can you discuss this, or do we have a full-blown cop bike patrol now?
We had just finished up training 5 officers in urban mountain bike bicycle riding, and hopefully, once we look at the schedule, we can get it more out in force. So that's what the plan is, and hopefully we can accomplish that this year.
Mr. Chairman, to Lieutenant Hickquist, I'd just like to tell you that the people in my ward, mainly Four Seasons and the woods of Aurora, really appreciate the bike patrol. I know we don't have 15 cars patrolling the city of Aurora on a daily basis. It's a fifth of that. But just the fact that their presence are there, it means a lot to the citizens. I just I want to congratulate the police department for putting that program back in place. I think it's a fantastic thing for the city. So thank you very much.
Thank you. The chief has done a wonderful job of implementing that and getting that restarted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else have anything? Need a motion?
Move to
Adjourn.
adjourn.
Ms. Hawks, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Hafford?
Yes.
Ms. Barner?
Yes.
Ms. Grandello?
Yes.
Mr. Kovach?
Yes.
Ms. McDougal? Yes. Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Thanks, Donna.